I think one of the major themes that we have seen during the sessions is really around identity. There's a lot of talk around identity as a concept within the federal space coming through, the trusted identities framework and things like that. And I think what we wanted to be able to communicate to folks here was that LexisNexis, by the nature of gathering all this public record information on people, really is already a trusted identity provider. And so that going forward, people can look towards LexisNexis to be part of that identity provisioning ecosystem, to enable them to be able to proof identities, verify that you are who you say you are, especially when you're dealing with people outside of your enterprise, citizens and people who aren't employees of your organization, that you can trust LexisNexis to be a provider of identity solutions for those type of individuals, so you know who you're dealing with as a government entity and you know that you can trust that we've done a good job verifying who they are. Well, I guess it is that repository of information. We have the largest repository of public record information in the country. And we've done a better job, we believe, of making sure that information is correct and authoritative to a certain extent. So we feel very strongly that being able to rely on that information source as an authoritative source for identity will be very important going forward. I guess, again, as I said, within the identity space, there's a lot of interest in that. And also now, with how especially state budgets are being affected, what we're seeing is a very great interest from state authorities and federal authorities in actually focusing on the sources of, to use a cliche, fraud, waste and abuse. So government is getting a lot more interested in ensuring that the money it's spending is being spent correctly. And we believe that LexisNexis, given its data solutions and the ability to verify identities, will be able to add a lot of value to what both federal, state and local governments are trying to do in that regard. I think it's definitely the caliber of the people you have here concentrated. At a lot of conferences, there's a lot of people there from senior level folks down to the more active field level individuals. But I think with GTRA, you've managed to distill a very unique group of people to come all together in one place. People who are kind of focused on trying to solve the same type of problems. So there's a dialogue you can have there without having to spend a lot of time and effort trying to identify the right people to talk to, because pretty much everyone here is the right person to talk to. Yeah, I definitely think it's that ability to be able to talk to people on a one-on-one basis. As a vendor, LexisNexis is a vendor. We sell things to this community and to some of the folks here who are our customers. But it gives us the ability to interact with them in a way that was sort of a little bit less formal than it would be sitting in their office, coming in as a vendor and having those discussions. So it allows us to have more of a dynamic back and forth on what their problems are and what their issues are, and to actually engage in the dialogue between the agencies and between the principals of the agencies in one place. So I find that from my personal perspective, I find it to be very interesting and very useful. Yeah, I was very interested in actually the one this morning around ontologies within the DoD, and the idea of being able to semantically search for information across those ontologies. And it was something I had looked at a couple of years ago within the auspices of LexisNexis. And I was kind of happy to see that it was now, that the concept of ontologies was actually being applied in a real world, and there's nothing more real than the DoD. So I found that to be a very interesting session just to see where things had gone to. I would say you probably want to come here if you're involved if you want to have a dialogue at a high level with your technology customers within the federal government. I haven't been involved with any events outside of GTRA that gives you the ability to have that dialogue. Now obviously there's sort of an ironic part there that the more vendors who get involved, then the less valuable it becomes to the vendors who are here and the commercial entities who are here. So there's a balance that has to be drawn between the two. But I really do think that the dialogue you can have with individuals within the government space here is second to none from what I've seen.